Stormwater ponds like this one may look like any other freshwater pond in Milton, which for two councillors is a problem. Councillors Sameera and Zeeshan Hamid brought forth a motion to council on Monday to increase safety standards around stormwater ponds. This motion comes following the drowning of a child back in December. And in this week's episode of Local Matters, Ali says it was a tragedy that shouldn't have happened.
It is such a sad incident. Little Ayub was just out there playing with his friend. And of course, we need to do a better job as a municipality in educating our residents about the dangers that surround, stormwater ponds. And so he fell through the ice. The ice was not ready. And his friend tried to save his life, but could not, ran home, called 911, and it didn't work out. So the motion was to see if we could look at options to install life-saving equipment around the pond.
However, in Monday's council meeting, the fire department did raise some concerns over installing life-saving equipment. Fire Chief Peter Gatto says it would pose more danger than it's worth.
Life safety equipment at the stormwater management ponds to be used by untrained bystanders may inadvertently cause greater risk to the bystander. The equipment has very limited reach, the ice is unpredictable, and the untrained bystander doesn't know the hazards of the ice or doesn't understand that it's shore-based equipment and they're not to go on the ice. They could put themselves at greater risk and be tempted onto the ice. And really the point of this is that we don't have multiple fatalities or multiple rescues in these events. In short, we have the same advice for all emergencies. Call 911 right away, direct emergency services in.
The motion was amended to exclude life-saving equipment, but passed in order for the town to move forward with an education campaign for residents. Councillor Hamid says communication will be a big part of the campaign.
Communication is not a one-time thing, it's an ongoing thing. We need to constantly remind people the stormwater pond is different from natural ponds or rivers that they might have grown up with. They behave differently, their freezing points are different. They might look frozen, but the ice might be very thin because, as you mentioned, the water is full of salt and oil. And Councillor Clear, if you remember from last term, there were issues with fish and stuff where a lot of people don't realize that these are artificial creation for a different purpose. These are not natural habitat, natural ponds, and they behave differently, and people need to realize that and understand that. So I'm hoping that the education campaign kind of gets the message through, because we continue to see kids and sometimes even entire families with adults skating or playing hockey or just playing on these ice, and it's incredibly dangerous.
Absolutely. One thing I just wanted to add is that I'm looking, we plan to talk to staff to see if we can do a collaborative education piece with the school boards where we can add these kind of warnings to the pamphlets that go out to parents.
To hear more about the stormwater pond issue, you can either watch the March 22nd council meeting on the Town of Milton's YouTube page, or you can watch this week's episode of Local Matters, which airs on Thursday at 7:30. Reporting for Halton News, I'm Melissa Candelaria.